What is up?
Robin Wallace, first one. So if you're watching this recording, we always record our live videos. So if you hear us talking to nobody and guessing names, we're just waiting for people to go live.
Who do I think?
I'm gonna say Marie Gray has been on fire lately.
Maybe Sheila. What we got? Sharon.
Sharon, what's up?
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Let me give you a little.
How we doing?
How you doing, Sharon?
This is Sharon's favorite exercise, the swing.
We're gonna be sharing some information with you. Erin, what's up?
Hey, hey.
Okay, so guys, we're on early. We're gonna give this another 2 minutes, and then we're gonna go into kettlebell swings. Kettlebell swings, we do a lot of swings. There's a lot of do's, don'ts, history, prerequisites. There's actually a lot of information that goes into the kettlebell swing.
Sharon, you win a high five when we see you next.
I know.
If that is legal.
If that's ever legal, ever again. What's up? So stay with us until exactly 5 o'clock because we're going to talk kettlebell swings.
Yes. We'll get into the swing of it.
It is one of the best, most efficient exercises you can do. It's a good bang for the buck exercise. And we'll explain why. And the beautiful thing about kettlebell swings or dumbbell swings is during this pandemic, when you're at home, you can do them no problem. It doesn't take any space. It's pretty slick.
Just a kettlebell. Or a dumbbell.
Or a dumbbell. This is just a pad that we're going to use as a prop in a bit.
Who got the props?
Mat props.
High five.
High five, low five, medium five. Hope everyone got a workout in today. There's one more.
Oh yeah.
There's one more workout on the agenda. Then there's a post-workout, which is going to be our restore from 7 to 7:30. It's a half-hour one today. We're just full rolling.
Yeah, join me for the 6 p.m. workout. It's going to be killer.
Join me for the restore. If you haven't done that, you really should try it out, especially with the workouts we've been giving lately. They're pretty damn intense, and your legs, upper body will benefit from this, I promise. All right, cool. So we will start with kettlebell swings. We are live. All right. So real quick, we love kettlebell swings for a lot of reasons. Number one is all you really need is a kettlebell. It's a very efficient exercise. What it's really doing for you is we're getting a lot of hip mobility, a lot of butt activity, a lot of core stability, and a lot of shoulder stability and mobility. There's a lot of good stuff happening that, for the most part, everybody uses, everybody needs. So that's why we love kettlebell swings so much. Also, think of a kettlebell swing as almost as if you were jumping without leaving the ground. So what it actually is, it's all the good stuff you get from jumping without the bad stuff when landing and absorbing the shock. So that's kettlebell swings, why we do them. We're going to go through some progressions, regressions, but first, just a brief history of kettlebell swings. Believe it or not, it started in the earlier in the century. I think it was in the early 1900s during the Russian army. They were issued a helmet and they were issued a kettlebell. That's what they trained with. And I would say sometime within the mid to late 90s, that kettlebell, which is a useful tool, worked its way to the U.S. and we started using it as well too. Now the benefit of a kettlebell is with this kettlebell and its weird motion, it's a ball with a cannonball with a handle, is that you can swing it, you can rotate it, you can catch it, you can press it. It's an extremely versatile piece of equipment, but it was designed literally for a soldier to just train with one, just one.
That's all you needed.
That's all you needed. So that's why we do kettlebell swings. And Joe, you want to jump into some prereqs, and then we'll show you how to do it.
So the first thing for most people that they don't really understand what a swing is, it is all hips. All right, you'll see people doing like squats, show over the head. We're trying to use your hips. Pretend like a pin was going through my hips, and watch my back. If I had a pole to go from my back of my head to my tailbone, when I go over, it's going to be one straight line. So if I'm going back this way and rounding, that's no good. You want to have a nice straight line as if you were doing a deadlift. You want to just make sure that you are, in that position. That's going to be the safest position and the correct position to swing.
Joe, real quick, can you show that position one more time?
So it's
now,
going to
you see when Joe goes down, very important. Now come back up. Watch that beam of light. When Joe sits back, he goes right through it. So in essence, what he's doing is he's driving those hips back.
Yes,
he's
all above hips.
pushing the hips back. A lot of folks may do this. This is a recipe. This is a recipe for bad knees and bad lower back. So the motion really is boom.
Yes.
It's like literally, if you were at the club, putting your butt back, that's literally what we're trying to do. I heard this description a while ago, Joe. It was almost as if there was a 2x4, 3 inches from your butt, and you were trying to break it.
Yep.
You're trying to break it so the butt goes back.
Yes. So first things first, we got to get this motion down. If you do that motion body weight and you feel it in your back or somewhere you're not supposed to feel it, that's kind of like a red flag. But let's say you feel great. Then I want you to take the kettlebell, put it right at your chest, your sternum, and if you guys can do this with that same movement without feeling it anywhere in your back, then you can kind of move on to the third part.
That's really, I would suggest for everyone, a great warm-up set. I don't care if you're a master kettlebell swinger or it's your first time. The first couple sets, it's not a bad idea to do what Joe just told you to do. Put it at your chest and just work on that hip mobility.
Right. So those two, check the boxes. You don't feel any pain, good to go. The third part, what I like to do is almost like a deadlift. So if you have the kettlebell between your feet, see if you can see it here.
Yeah, we can see
Right?
that.
So right here, if you can get now into that same position, keep those shoulder blades back, tighten the lats, elbows tight. If you can get here and just kind of deadlift, that means the next step is going to be a swing. So if that feels kind of good and everything, you check those boxes, the next one we can pick it up and swing. So I'll show you the next part of that, which we always want to start with the kettlebell a couple feet away from our toes before we swing it at first. We don't want to just pick it up and do this. We want to pretend like we're hiking a football, right? So get in that same position, a little tilt of the kettlebell, and on the first one, come back and then snap it up. And then when you release, same deal.
Okay, so that's a great setup. Let's go through what's actually happening during the swing, and Joe and I can just coach you through this. I'm going to show you from the side. So again, the setup process, a couple feet in front. I grab it like this, I pull it through, and I'm here. Now, the first thing you should notice is we'll start at the top of my head. Joe, you want to walk them through the height of the kettlebell and my shoulders, what's happening?
Yes, so if you see Frank's using 100% of his hips to get that weight up. He is not using his shoulders. He's actually, if we took 2 pieces of paper and put them under his armpits are super tight and not coming up. That's exactly where we want the kettlebell to be. Now, it can be lower than that. That's totally fine, as long as all you're getting is with the hips.
Normally with heavy kettlebells,
It's gonna get
we would
lower.
grab you swing a little lower.
Yes. And if you see what his head's doing, it's not wrenching up, it's not going to the floor, it's kind of staying in a neutral position, exactly where we want it to be.
Also, if you were to check out my shoulders, when I'm not pushing them out
Yes.
like this, I'm actually keeping them back.
Down, back, kind of like mostly all exercises we tell you. Keep those shoulders down and back, elbows tight, armpits tight.
Now,
Awesome.
let's move down the chain, Joe. Hips and knees.
Hips and knees. So, hips are going back, as you see, while the knees are bending slightly. Now, what we're trying to go for is having when those hips come back, you want to feel tension throughout your hamstrings, and that's what's going to help you coil up and then snap those hips back. We do not want to see show them a bad squat, like more of a squat and then really bring your arms up. Yeah, so that is nothing. I don't know what that is. We do not want
We
that.
don't want that.
So we want a good swing, hips, again, following the same line every single rep. If you feel yourself getting tired and you're starting to squat, put the weight down. You're done with that set, recover, and do it again.
Now, just like any exercise, it is a skill,
Yes.
and you will get better at it the more you do it. So the first 2-3 days you do this may feel awkward. You will get better at it, so it's second nature. But normally, the rules are, let your hips do all the work. It's all about the booty. In your knees, less is more. A little bend in the knees, tight hamstrings. Your arms are going just along for the ride.
You're just holding that kettlebell with those arms. That's all you're doing with those arms. If you guys are having trouble, like Frank was doing, sitting back, a great little a tip, you just grab a wall in your house, maybe stand 5-6 inches in front of it, and then all you're going to do, Frank, you want to put this behind me? As like a wall. Pretend the pad's the wall. All you're going to do is hit the pad or hit the wall. Hit the wall if that feels easy. Come out a little bit. Hit the wall. Just keep practicing that. Do it in front of a mirror with perfect posture. That'll help a lot.
Now, after going through all of these prereqs, you're practicing, if this still bothers your back, it's fine. Everyone's going to have 1, 2, 3 exercises in their library that your body just doesn't like.
Right.
It's fine. Now, I'll give you an example. Let's just say that you hurt your back years ago. The way your body reacts to certain movements is going to be based on fear. So if that motion scares you, or your body doesn't like it because you were so badly hurt before, you might never be able to do that appropriately. That's fine. We can do other things. A kettlebell swing, though we love it, it's not magic.
Right.
It's great for hip mobility, core stability,
Power.
working that booty. Again, it's all the great things we would get from jumping
Yep.
without actually leaving the ground, which again we know is great. It's all that force reduction on the way down, which will mess you up. It doesn't. It's minus all that stuff.
Like bang for your buck wise, it's probably one of the best power exercises you can do while being, not getting hurt. Basically.
Right? Yeah. Like
Instead of doing Olympic lifts.
people ask us a lot. How come we don't do a lot of crazy jumps all the time? How come we don't do a lot of one-leg plyometrics? Because it's dangerous.
Right.
The amount of impact you hitting the ground, it's basically your body weight, multiply that times 9, hitting the ground every single time. Now again, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of load for anybody in their joints to absorb. I don't care how soft the surface is. Now if we could tell you, we could get the same benefit by swinging the kettlebell and keep you safer, I think we'd rather that.
You'll be surprised at how many professional athletes take a swing and substitute like a swing for like something like a clean and jerk or something like that, something more power oriented. They go to the swing just because it's safer.
Right, so kettlebell swings, real quick, who's it for? Anybody who'd like to increase hip mobility, increase core stability, work their butt, increase power. Who isn't it for? The person that tries a kettlebell swing and feels pain in their lower back after all the prerequisites, all the coaching cues, it's fine. Here's an example, like I personally, I would like to do deadlifts, but I don't care what coaching cue you gave me, the amount of times I've hurt my lower back in my life, my back, right before I lift it, will go some other weird direction based on my brain. So I don't do deadlifts.
Yeah.
Simple. So kettlebell swings, if you want, watch this video again. If we have kettlebell swings in the workout, it's not a bad idea to pop this one in and put it in your back pocket for a quick refresh. But kettlebell swings, amazing power exercise minus all the impact. Actually, real quick, Joe. In terms of kettlebell weight, what should we do for weight? What's too heavy? What's too light?
I would suggest a weight where, believe it or not, if the kettlebell is too light, it's actually like a problem. So I would say, it's a good question. I would go with,
What do you say the minimum for almost everybody?
I would say probably a yellow.
Yellow, 35.
Yeah, 35 pounds minimum, and then maximum, I mean, if you're like a stud D1 athlete, you can swing the beast. But I would say for a lot of people, a green 53, maybe a 61 is like perfect for the stronger people. I mean, if you're doing 100 swings in a row, that's that's a lot.
Now, if you look at the packages we set up for you guys to perform better, there's a 20, a 30, and a 53-pound kettlebell. What we would suggest is that for most of our smaller people, let's say you're a smaller female, I would go with a 35. Actually, most of us would benefit from a 35. If you're a strong guy, maybe go with a 53. The reason that is we want to keep it versatile. For example, we want you to go from a swing to a bent over row. Who knows, maybe you'll take the kettlebell, do an overhead push press.
Right.
There's a lot of things that you can do with one kettlebell. Though it may be lighter on a squat for you, there's 1,000 other things that we can do. Right. Same thing with the 53. Cool. All right, guys, any questions? Let's see what you got. Jay, what's up?
What is up, Jay?
Casey, what's up? Swing is king, baby. We're gonna rename swings. We're gonna call them gyms.
Yep.
Nancy, what's up?
Hey, Nancy.
Nancy, give John a big hug for me. Robin, what's up? Give Brian a big hug for me, Nance.
No questions.
All right, no questions, really. You guys got anything? We were that good at teaching the kettlebell swing, but ultimately, guys, I can't stress this enough. Swinging a kettlebell is a skill, so practice, practice, practice. Do you have to do 1,000 in a day? No. Do 10 perfectly, put it down, come back, do some more. Do it every single day. It's like flossing. Eventually, you do it just because that's what you do. All right, guys, I hope that helped. We're on at 6 o'clock, and we are going through another session. Join me for Restore at 7. Love you guys.